But this idea that it has something to do with, well, but then I'll be dead, right? I mean, the idea that life shrinks to meaningless if you take a big enough view is, to me, completely the wrong way to look at it and completely backwards. Look, let's say, I mean, I remember when I was a kid, I think the sun's been burning for 10 billion years. It's got another 10 billion to go. But there was, as far as ethics go, nothing until a couple of thousand years ago. Nothing. There's no ethics in lower nature. There's no ethics. There's some reciprocal altruism among the apes, and there's obviously care for the young and so on, but we don't say that the kids, the species that follow the strategy of tons of eggs and no parental care are evil, but the animals that follow the strategy of fewer children but lots of parental investment are virtuous. It's just two different survival strategies with a slider in between, or reproductive strategies. So ethics, which is meaning, which is the possibility of virtue in the universe, as far as we know, from like, what, 13 or 14 billion years ago until 2,500 years ago or so, there was nothing. Nothing of any particular value or virtue. There were no values. There are no values until there are virtues, or at least money. And money requires some element of property rights and other kinds of virtues. And so it's not like our life is meaningless because we have access to virtue. No, the universe was meaningless until there was virtue. And in a brief slice, a tiny, tiny little sliver of the universe's history, the universe has had a point and a purpose. The universe has had values and virtues and good and evil and right and wrong and all of the high drama and excitement of propelling the spread of virtue in the world. Before that, who gives a shit? It wasn't like, it's not like the infinity of the universe makes us insignificant. No, no, no. Everything but us is insignificant. Because without people and without philosophy, there are no virtues and no values, and everything is meaningless. A frog has its babies. Some of those babies are eaten. The turtle lays its eggs. Some of those eggs are eaten. What's the meaning? There is no meaning to any of that. It's just DNA trying to photocopy itself, right? I mean, the shell of the tortoise egg wants to make another shell of a tortoise egg. So, I mean, that's all it is. Absolutely meaningless. And we compare ourselves to the infinity of time and feel meaningless, but prior to consciousness, philosophy, and virtue, time didn't even exist. Certainly prior to consciousness, time didn't exist as a concept. There was fundamentally no time. Can't go up to a trilobite or a protozoa and say, hey, what time is it? They don't know. There's no such thing as time until human consciousness comes along. Of course, time happened and things happen in sequence. There was no concept of time. So if you think that the fact that you're going to end makes the pursuit of virtue meaningless, it's entirely backwards. It's only because you're alive that the universe has any purpose and meaning whatsoever. And that purpose and meaning comes down to your choice about whether to join the fight to spread virtue or let the evildoers take over and make the world a hell, not just for us, but for other species as well. It is only your choice that determines the value that exists within the universe and the virtues that exist within the universe. So we cup that flame and we blow on that flame and we feed that flame its fuel and we try to grow it. Everything else is meaninglessness. The whole point of the universe is this little third planet from this little tiny yellow sun on this little arm of the galaxy, 100 billion stars in the galaxy, 100 billion galaxies around. Let's say we're the only, I don't think it's true, but let's say we're the only consciousness that ever walks this universe. The whole point of the whole goddamn thing has been this and us. We are not meaningless relative to the universe. The universe only has meaning because we're here. A star burning has no moral choice, no consciousness, no right or wrong, no fight to make things better, no choice to use words instead of fists, no choice to stay your hand and reason, no choice to stand up against evil or reject evil. The star is a giant burning nuclear fart that comes and goes. It has as much consciousness as a forest fire. that does not shrink our meaningless into nothing. It means that the whole point of everything has been us. Not that it was planned or conscious or anything, but meaning only exists because we're here and we have this choice and we have these ethics. So revel in it and enjoy it. We don't fade into insignificance because the universe is so vast. We are the culmination and sole explosion of meaning in the universe. Everything else is meaningless, not us.